So I reached out to 50 businesses in my first month of running my web agency, and I got 0 paying clients. And I still think that month was a success. So before you click off the video, just hear me out. Because I think most people who is starting an agency like me quit too early, and I almost fell into that trap too. So stick around because I'm going to break down exactly what happened, what I learned, and what's actually starting to work now in month 2 that I am currently on. So a quick context about me because it matters for understanding why the first month looked the way it did, and it's also going to matter because especially if this is your first time watching my video. So my name is Lawrence, but I'm called Dev Lawrence, and I run a web agency called Web Creative. And at Web Creative, we build custom websites for local businesses, startups, e-commerce brands, and what have you. But on top of that, I also have a template store which is part of Web Creative as well. It's called Web Store, and it's like Team Forest, but it's just me with my designs. And if that wasn't enough, I am also part of a startup. I run this YouTube channel, and I'm just living life. So when I say the first month of running my agency was overwhelming, sometimes I really mean it. But I also genuinely love what I'm building, so I kept going. So now let's talk about what actually happened. So in February, which was my first official month when I started running this agency, I made a decision and I wasn't going to sit and wait for clients to find me. I was going to find them. So I decided to reach 50 business owners using cold outreach, and the businesses are different businesses and different niches. And here is what surprised me. Most of the businesses I reached out to got back to me, and I didn't expect them to get back to me because it's my first time. Although not all of them said yes, but they responded, and I'm still following up with a lot of them till this day. And just for context, the method I used to do the code outreach was simply using WhatsApp because I'm in Nigeria, so WhatsApp is highly effective in my country. So I used WhatsApp. I initially used email, but with email, I never gotten any reply at all. So I just stopped using that. But I majorly used WhatsApp, which I got tons of reply, and I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. And I also use Instagram. So with using this Google Maps, G Maps extractor. Maybe I'll do a video on how I get clients, how I do code outreach to clients. I'm going to show you all that. That will be a separate video on its own. And I also created an outreach tracker. So I might blur this out, so you might see it now, but I might blur it out depending because I don't want to leak the business's information. But as you can see, there's a lot. Like I said, I reached out to 50 businesses, and I've forgotten to update the status of most of them, but majority of them reached out. And the reason I'm saying this is because most people send only one code DM or like 3 code DM a day. When they don't get any reply, they think it's over. But the game is in the follow-up, because a person you reached out to can reply 3 weeks after you followed up multiple times. But I would suggest you don't do it more than twice, so that you don't look as if you are spamming them, which is not actually nice, and you are going to look desperate. So if you are doing outreach and it feels like nothing is happening, because that's how I felt, the only advice I would give to you is that you should keep going, because your future clients are somewhere in that list and they just haven't said yes. Now the question is, did I land a paying agency client in February? No, I didn't land any. But did that also mean that month 1 was a failure? Also no, and here's why. So while I was doing all this outreach, something happened, and while I was expecting it to happen, I wasn't expecting it to be that early. I sold a template, and the template I sold was a recent template called this spa awareness template. I have talked about it on my channel. I have a couple of videos, and I'll try to link one in the cards right now. So I don't want to go into context of how this template came about and all, but you should go and watch that video if you are interested. So I did a video on the template and explained to business owners, or if you're a developer, if you need it in order to sell to a client of your choice, you can get it, and I was able to sell one of the templates. And I know that might not sound like a big deal, but for me, in my first month of doing this agency thing, it was everything, because it now validates that the template side of this my business is actually real, and people or some persons actually want what I'm building. And like I said in some of my videos, I will keep on adding templates right here. And like I said, each template will be better than the previous one. So obviously the next one coming will be far better than the one that's right here. And also the link to this will be in the description. So I want to be honest about something, and I feel a lot of you watching this video, or the few persons watching this video, might relate to. That is the reality of me juggling everything. And my first month of running this agency was a lot for me, because it was my first time doing an outreach as an agency. And I also remember just now that I did cold calling as well. It was not effective, and I felt embarrassed at some point. And you're also going to feel embarrassed, because you might pitch to people that, oh, I saw your website, I saw your business online, and I see that you didn't have a website. I built something for you. Would you love to check it out? Then you get a reply of, I'm not interested, and you're going to feel bad at some point. So I was doing this. I was also building templates as a side um thing to it. I was filming YouTube videos, like some YouTube videos I filmed are not out here, which requires editing. And I'm also, like I said, I'm also part of a startup now, and I still have to manage my personal life. So there were days that I genuinely didn't even know which of the things to do first, or where I felt like I was spreading myself too thin to make real progress on any one thing. But here's what I've learned in this first month. Overwhelm is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that you are building something real. So I think I need to write that down. So I'm going to say it again. Overwhelm is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that you're building something real. And one thing that really helped me was that I was really being honest with myself about the priorities that I had to take each week. So every week was different. Some weeks the agency gets some attention, some weeks the YouTube does. But the key was that nothing was going to go completely silent for too long. And like I said, I think if you're watching this, you're also juggling a lot too. So yours can be a job, beside also your life, whatever. Just know that chaos is part of the whole process, and you don't need to have everything perfectly balanced, because you can't really have everything perfectly balanced. You just need to keep moving. So I'm officially in the second month of running this agency, and this is the month of March, and as at the time of recording this video, we are today's March 5th, and something happened that felt like a direct result of everything I did in the first month, which was February. I finally got two clients, and the first one was shocking because it was not from cold outreach, it was actually from referral. So let me write that out. So it was from referral. So prior to the whole cold outreach, I was also reaching out to individuals that I know that, hey, I'm no longer doing freelancing. I have made this official by giving it a name and running as an agency. So the clients I had before, I still work with them, but I didn't want to use that as a yardstick of me having clients. I just want a fresh set of people, since I have started branding this whole freelancing stuff. So someone I know, a friend of mine I knew, contacted me with a business that needed a website, and that's how I got my first official agency client. And thinking about it, to be honest, I don't even know what I'm going to title this video after, if it's I finally got my first client, or what I learned in my first month of running my web agency. I really don't know, but let's see how it goes. So I really think that an important thing we need to understand about the early stage of any business is that, mostly I've heard this being said quite a number of times, but it's true to some extent. Your first client always, or almost always, comes from your network, not really from ads, not from SEO, but from people who know you or know someone who knows you. And that's why the work you do in putting yourself out there, telling people what you do, being visible really matters, especially if it doesn't feel like anything is working. Still try to put yourself out there every time. And the other client I got was one of the cold outreaches I did via WhatsApp. So the client reached out, we were going back and forth, but we finally had a meeting. Fun enough, it was even yesterday. We had a call when the project was officially like should I say sealed or stamp. Project is a go, so I can officially start working on it. So if you're building a web agency like me, or you're just starting out as a freelancer, one thing that helped me move fast with clients is having a solid website templates ready to go. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on how I get clients, but I also did one, I think it's the video before this one. I'll also link that to the card right now on the um, template I sent to the people I reached out to, because I do send them a sample of how their business will look online. And that template has to be something that looks professional and you can easily customize it quickly, and it doesn't require you to build from scratch every single time. So like I said, shameless plug, I sell website templates on my website called Webstore. The link is in the description. You can go and check it out. And if it's not the right fit, there's no worries at all. You can just relax. So guys, that's the size of the video. If the video helped you in any way, drop a like, subscribe. If you're new, let me know in the comments. Are you building an agency too? And I would love to know where you're at. And one more thing, I run a weekly newsletter. It's called Dev Substacks, but I'm looking and thinking of giving it another name. Maybe I was about saying a name on my mind, but I'm going to just keep it. But by the time you're watching this name would have changed from Dev Substack to something else. So basically, it's going to be a place where I go deeper on all these things I've said. So I'm going to be sharing updates about my agency, templates I'm building, tools I use. So basically, I'm just going to talk about the stuff that doesn't make it into a YouTube video. And if that sounds useful, the link to subscribe will be in the description below. Alright guys, that will be all for today. See you on the next one. Bye bye.